Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Sometimes out here there's some humour, even if I am on my own. But first, the serious stuff. If you remember, this is Tolumnia peach. I said it was a real colour changer, and although the colours are already changing, so it's difficult to show, this one's only just opened, yeah? And you can see there's a very, very faint hint of orange around the lip. Effectively, when they open shiny new, they're yellow and deep red, and that's the only colour on there. But this is what they changed to, hence the name peach. It's a real gorgeous colour. It's still probably my favourite Tolumnia, but just because of the colour of that orange. It really is like a ripe peach. It's absolutely stunning. And I mean, that's growing into a nice plant as well recently. Big and Blousy is going to be open soon, so obviously we'll film that when it does open properly. The other bud on it blasted. If you remember back a bit, I didn't switch the heater back on. I'd had the fan on during the day, and when I reset the thermostat for the night minimum, I forgot to actually switch the actual heater on, and it went down to 2 point summit degrees C in here, and I thought that's what blasted that bud, but somebody said they thought they'd seen it a bit discoloured prior to that, so maybe not. So only one bloom this time. It normally has two, that's what it does, but one will do, because you can get an impression of the colours, but it will open quite flat when it gets going. And the other thing, back to the humour, I'm in the middle of watering my mounts, and I've just coincidentally, nothing more than that, you know, I've got winter resting Dendrobiums, the sort of annually deciduous type that need that rest, and you know, I've always said that they need some water. They shouldn't be kept dry from what the books say, whatever it is. I think it's Halloween till Valentine's Day, you shouldn't water them. Well, I'm pretty sure I'd have some dead plants or totally desiccated plants if I did that to that extreme. So they do get some water now and again, just a trickle. And in this watering, it is time to look at them to see how they're doing and possibly give them a trickle. And it suddenly dawned on me what the date is. It was Valentine's Day yesterday, so you know, I've got to rush out and start watering all my plants because it's the magic date on the calendar. It just tickled me that coincidentally I am watering my resting Dendrobiums today. But I can assure you I don't do it by the calendar. I do it by when they were last done and the interval between. And the sort of weather we've had. Well, just recently, the last few days, we've had some quite bright sunshine, so the heat's getting up in here now. And with the day lengths as well, things are going to start moving, you know, so I have got to keep my eye on watering now. And with those resting Dendrobiums, quite a few of them are now forming their buds. Well, they need something to do that with. If they don't get any help from me, they will drain all the energy from the canes the buds are coming out of. And then it's less good as a storage organ for the new growths and the following winter because it's been allowed to desiccate. Yeah, Dendrobium canes, when they desiccate, they very often won't plump up again. I know some Cattleyas do and some other types of plants, but these types of Dendrobiums, if those canes shrink right in, that's it. That's how they're going to stay, and then they can't store anywhere near as much. So yeah, it just tickled me a bit that I've rushed out to water my resting Dendrobiums today. As if you know me better than that. Apart from that, there isn't much else going on out here at the moment, apart from the frequency of my watering is now increasing. I've already seen it, you know, just a couple of warm days. And the other thing I found out, you saw the video of the new hydrofogger. Boy, does that gobble water. It's the others that I've got are ultrasonic and they produce a very fine mist, and yes, they use water, but you saw the spray coming out of that thing, That's quite a large volume of water, and it's chucking it out at a rate of knots. So I'm going to have to start collecting more water containers now, because that's going to come into use soon. I'm thinking about where I'm going to put it and getting it wired up to the hydrostat so that it's automatic instead of me just coming and plugging it in, because it's got warm in here, and then unplugging it when I want it to stop. I'll get that automated. But it uses an awful lot of water. Now that's good, because if it's using it, it's chucking it into the atmosphere. Now, I think I'm really going to be able to keep my humidity up this year. You know, even when the extractor fan's on and the air's getting changed, that should replenish it and keep it buoyant when we get the hot weather, which we will get. I doubt if we'll get a heat wave like we did last year. That was just prolonged. That was bad news, that was. Most of my Latorias suffered quite bad as a consequence of that. Of all the plants, those were the least I expected to suffer, and yet every single one of them suffered. They dropped leaves, and they're going to take a while to recover now, because obviously the lack of leaves means the lack of photosynthesis. So they're not as strong as they once were, and they've got to get some new growths going. So you know, they're going to take at least this growing season to get anywhere near where they were before. It's quite a dramatic setback on those. A lot of the other stuff did okay. It sort of slowed down, and some things stopped growing because it was just too hot. But, you know, those were the ones that suffered the worst. So anyway, we'll see how we go. And I don't think I'm going to find anything else today. Yeah, I just thought it was rather amusing that I've rushed out to water my resting Dendrobiums because it's the 15th of February. Ugh. No such sort of calendar-based watering with me, I'm afraid. I let my plants decide when they need water, you know, based on temperatures, day lengths, and how warm it gets, how much sun I get. You know, but come the summer, the mounts will be virtually every day. The only time I'll skip a day is if we get a dull day with no sun at all. You know, so I might miss a day then. But yeah, come the end of the month, we'll be up to that sort of time. You know, we'll be back up near the 11 hours. I think the 11-hour mark is during the first week of March, something like that. So it will soon be there. All the plants will respond. They'll come back into life and start. Or they'll either come back and start growing, or they will increase the speed of their growth rate. That's what happens at that magic 11 hours. You know, virtually everything in here comes from the tropics, where that is their minimum day length, 11 hours. So they're getting back into their comfort zone and should get going a bit better. And I'll keep you posted as and when that happens. See you next time. Bye for now.